Investing doesn't need to be hard when you have the right investment strategy. In this video, we're going to cover the two main types of investing strategies, which is cash flow versus equity growth. While both of these are important, there's probably one that's going to be more important for you. But before we get into the video, in case you don't know me, my name is Davin. I help people overcome their financial burdens by teaching people how to invest in real estate. So when we're talking about cash flow investing, we're talking about putting your time, effort, and money into anything that is going to increase your monthly income availability. And what I mean by that is if you reduce your expenses, now you have extra money in your pocket to go spend it on what you want. Or if you increase your income, you can also have extra money left over to spend on what you want. And to make it really simple, think of if you bought a lawnmower for $300 and instead of hiring someone else for $60 a month to mow your lawn for you, you're gonna put your time, energy, and money into that lawnmower, into getting a cash on cash return, which is the $60 that you would have spent somewhere else to get someone to maintain it for you. Now, on the other side of things, let's go into the equity growth strategy. So one way to grow your equity is by investing in things like real estate. If you buy a home at $300,000 and it goes up in value up to $400,000, that asset has given you $100,000 worth of equity. Versus if you bought a car per se, and that car goes down in value, then your equity is slowly decreasing over time as the car loses value. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell you that you should never buy a car, but in general, we should own more things that appreciate in value and less things that depreciate in value, and that will give us a good growth strategy for our equity. And since we've covered what both of these two strategies are now, you might be asking yourself, which one is best for me? Well, in general, cash flow strategies are going to be a little bit less risky. But because they're less risky, the rewards are also going to be a little bit lower on them. So if we are investing in real estate, for example, on a cash flow strategy, you might only get about an 8% return on investment. Versus on an equity growth strategy, we're going to be into a little bit less cash flow, so it's going to increase our risk and maybe even our stress level. However, the rewards are going to be much greater. So an equity growth strategy is fantastic for that person that has a little bit of time, a lot of energy, and a little bit of money to invest into something that's going to grow really rapidly, versus a cash flow strategy is generally going to be interested to someone who's a little bit wealthier, right? There's someone who they don't need any stress on their plate at the moment. What they need is some peace of mind, knowing that they have a consistent cash and monthly return coming from their money. There's also another person I want to mention that needs to use a cash flow strategy, and this is the person that is totally broke and they want to keep building their equity, but they just can't go any further. They seem like they're dead in their career is not moving forward at all. It seems like no matter how much harder they try, they just can't be successful in anything, right? This person needs to absolutely reduce their stress by cutting their spending and looking at saving money in their budget to create some extra monthly cash flow. And then after they've created that ease and comfort, taking that money and then reinvesting it into their growth again after they're not stressed out anymore. So in later videos, we're going to cover more in depth about equity growth strategies and different ways to grow your equity, whether or not you have money, whether or not you have time, and whether or not you have extra cash on hand. We're also going to go into some cash flow strategies. Again, whether or not you got extra time, money, and effort, that blend is going to be unique to you, and you're going to have to kind of figure out which one is going to be best for you, but I'm sure you'll find it along the way. I do want to mention that money is just a tool. It can absolutely impact your life, your family's life. It can change the community around you or even the world. But the biggest thing that separates the rich versus the poor is understanding wants versus needs. If you have someone that makes a lot of money every single month, but they don't understand the difference between wants and needs, they have a poor mentality. Versus if you have someone that really values their time, money, and effort, then they're going to be much richer in the long run. And if you combine that mindset with a good investment strategy, then you're going to be off to success. Now make sure you watch our next video, which is going to be on the top 9 tips that mortgage officers, financial professionals, and real estate investors give to first-time home buyers to help them save as much money as possible.